Howdy, I'm Pastor Dave. Man, thank you for joining us here at Grace Life Ministries. It's really good to have you along for the ride. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of those subjects that a lot of people have difficulty with. There's a lot of different ideas and opinions about. It's called, most often known as the unpardonable sin, or the sin that God can't forgive, or the unforgivable sin, however you want to say that. And in Matthew chapter 12 and verses 31 and 32, Jesus says, "Therefore I say to you, any sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven people, but blasphemy against the Holy Spirit shall not be forgiven. Whoever speaks a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But whoever speaks against the Holy Spirit, it shall not be forgiven him, either in this age or in the age to come." Sounds pretty serious. As a matter of fact, is there a sin? According to these verses, there is a sin that God can't forgive. There definitely is something that is so evil, so wrong, that God says it is totally beyond His ability to forgive. No exemptions, no excuses, just the way it is. So what did Jesus say it is? He said it is the blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. So the question that is most often asked in relation to this idea about, or this subject, is what exactly does it mean to blaspheme the Holy Spirit? Of course, depending on who you talk to, there's a lot of different ideas and a lot of different theories and those kind of teachings about what it means to blaspheme the Holy Spirit. However, I believe the answer is actually found in a simpler question, and that question is this: why did Jesus send the Holy Spirit to begin with? I mean, what is the Holy Spirit's job, or what is His purpose here on this earth? Actually, the Bible tells us that the very purpose for which Jesus sent the Holy Spirit was to speak to our hearts and to tell us that Jesus is who He says He is. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what John says in John chapter 15 and verse 26. It said, when Jesus said in John 15:26, "When the Helper, or the Holy Spirit, comes, whom I will send to you from the Father, that is the Spirit of truth who proceeds from the Father, He will bear witness of me." In other words, the very reason Jesus sent the Holy Spirit to this earth was for the purpose of speaking the truth to your heart and your mind about who Jesus is, to guide you into all truth. Jesus is truth. So, who is Jesus? Well, first of all, Jesus is truth. There's no doubt about that. But the Bible tells us that He is the promised Messiah, the Son of the living God, the one who would come to save His people from their sins. So, therefore, the Holy Spirit's job is to simply tell you that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, and that no one comes to the Father except through Him. So His job is to speak to your human spirit. The Holy Spirit's job is to speak to your human spirit and to say to you that salvation cannot be found in anyone else, for there is no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved. That's what Acts tells us in Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. So how does that help us then to answer the question of what it means to blaspheme the Holy Spirit? Or what it means, what is this unforgivable, unpardonable sin? Well, simply this: if we refuse to listen to the Holy Spirit when He tells us that Jesus is who He says He is, then we also by default are rejecting Jesus Christ. It's the same thing. The Holy Spirit says to your spirit, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by Him. So to reject what the Holy Spirit speaks to our hearts and our lives is to ultimately reject Jesus. So here, let me just put it in the simplest terms I know how. The only thing that can keep you out of heaven, the only sin that God cannot forgive, the only unpardonable sin is our ultimate rejection of Jesus Christ. In other words, as long as we reject the Holy Spirit, what He says to us about Jesus Christ, we will never allow Jesus to become our life. We will never allow Jesus to give His life to us and to place His life within us. And without His life within us, we cannot see heaven. Listen to what John tells us in 1 John chapter 5 and verse 12. He says, "He who has the Son has the life, and he who does not have the Son of God does not have the life." Now, I've emphasized "the" there because it is in the original Greek. It is the life because Jesus is the life. So So to be without Jesus is to be without life. Simple as that. There you have it. It's really not that hard. Love you all. God bless you. Have a really great day.